Gainz Nation. This message is brought to you by Roman Long, the guy that his outfit is the guy from Hustle and Flow, and he's ready to do your laundry at any moment.
It's so bad, and I'm wearing like the Fabletics skin tight joggers right now. Look at this ridiculous outfit, Gainz Nation.
Oh wow.
What is going on?
That's what I call like the country house outfit right there. Like it's just you're just living in the country and you're just chilling at the house.
What's the name of that movie with Maki Wahlberg, and he's like a fitness guy?
Pain and Gain?
Yeah, Pain and Gain. There you go. Reminds me of Pain and Gain.
That's like pretty much the outfit he wore the whole movie, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yep.
I think he was trying to resemble what it looks like to be a lifter in New York, but in the fall time.
Fair enough.
Is that the outfit that people in New York wear?
Yeah, if you're like I've probably been in New York maybe 5 or 6 times, New York City, New York. If you're like a street performer, like and it's like warm, and you're a male, you're probably wearing like a white beater.
Or I think they're called like tank tops, Roman.
Tank top, yep.
I don't know if that comment was PC or not, Roman. Sorry.
I said white, like the color.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant something else. Sorry. My hearing's a little off. My bad.
No, it beats the color white. You know, it's like it triumphs over white. It's so white, it's very white.
It honestly doesn't stay white that long because after you sweat in it like 2-3 times, it turns into like a yellow T-shirt.
Disgusting. Oh my goodness. Like right around here, they'll get like absolutely putrid.
You know what? Maybe I don't have that problem anymore. I've been shaving my armpits for like the past like 10 years. So.
Oh, it's so interesting.
Yeah, I haven't had like armpit hair since like high school. So probably like more than 10 years ago.
You thinking that it's like some sort of like a armpit hair gland thingy, my bobber?
Well, I think you probably produce more sweat having hair there, right? And produce more like bacteria.
That's probably true.
I don't know. I'm not sure because like I knew a guy growing up. We used to play basketball all the time, and he would wear like his white tees to the gym or to the basketball court, and his pits were always yellow. And this guy had a lot of armpit hair, a lot.
Oh yeah.
That's a technical foul.
Yeah.
He came in there. I'm like, dude, can you not wear your freaking white tees to the gym anymore? Like, dude, you just like all it is yellow pit stains.
I've had those. Yep.
That's why, and also too, like when I got older, I realized I stopped wearing white T-shirts. Even though I'm wearing one right now, this was a free T-shirt. I like never buy white T-shirts anymore.
Yeah, I always get for like Christmas and stuff, so it's like there's really no need to get them. I got like a white-ish V-neck the other day though. Just because I was like, that's kind of the mood. I was like, I want to have like nice fitting shirts, you know, ones that like complement guns and whatnot, because like most of my shirts are and whatnot. So I splurged and I spent like all of like $8 on a shirt.
Yeah, I went to TJ Maxx the other day. They have like T-shirts for like $7, $8, shorts for like $10.
Isn't that insane? I know.
Yeah.
I went to Marshall's.
I love it, man. It's like you could get those and like not have to worry about it, and then you go to like an actual clothing store, it's like $15-$20 for a T-shirt. I'm like, dude, come on. Shirts last.
Or even,
what was that? Or more, you said?
More. It's ridiculous. Like I found some okay deals at Nordstrom Rack too, but like you might have to spend like $50+ on freaking. There's this company, I can't think of the name of them. Super cool. Mission. So it's like you buy a pair of socks, for example. They'll donate a pair of socks to like somebody, like a homeless individual. Okay,
Oh
Super cool
yeah,
mission, right?
that's what I buy, those socks.
How do you afford those? It's like they
You
had
know
a
what?
pack
They're worth it though. Bombas you're talking about.
Bomba, something like that. I saw
Yeah.
like a 10-pack. It cost $300 or some shit like that.
Oh no, I don't buy those. No, I don't buy those. Not that one. That might be a
All
different brand,
right.
Roman. That seems kind of like expensive as hell.
Yeah, it was like I think it was that company, and I was like, what the f? Like, I understand, like you need to make your profits, but like that is ridiculous. I hope I never buy a freaking pair of socks. I guess it was probably like $30 per pair or whatever. And obviously it's like really only like $15 per pair because you're like, it was 20 because they donate the same amount, whatever. But I was like, this is freaking ridiculous. $15 for a damn pair of socks.
I do run if it's the same company. I do run in those Bomba socks,
Nice. They're
and
super nice.
yeah, I mean they're really nice. But see, the thing is though, like I might have to check out another brand because I mean I don't remember spending $300 on socks. I think it was like $80 or $90 for like 5 or 6 pairs. No, probably
Okay.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Maybe it was more. I don't know. There's like a 20% offer too. So when you buy
Yeah.
a first time, like you get the 20% off, and then we did like another first time account for 20% off. So I guess that's worth it. But yeah, like the long term, it's not really worth it. I'm actually trying to look for more runner shoes or runner socks. Sorry. I'm trying to figure it out because I do need like a new pack because I don't know what it is because when I buy clothing, like if I like the clothing, I wear it like nonstop, like every week. Like if it's that pair of socks, I'm gonna wear them every week. And like I run down clothes
Yeah.
like so hard because it's just we're active all the time. Like if I wear a pair of those socks, like I might run, the 13 miles, or I might lift and walk in them all day. Like in like I don't just stay stagnant. Like they just like wear and tear. It just and you can't
You want to
underestimate
tell,
a good pair of socks
that's true. That's very true. You want
because
to tell Gainz Nation?
what's up?
Go ahead.
No, go
You want
ahead.
to tell Gainz Nation about? Yeah, tell Gainz Nation about your latest run.
I love it, dude. I don't know what's going on with the audio, why it's doing that, but so yes, yesterday I did 13.1 miles for the first time, so that's my first ever half marathon, and then I did it at 9 minutes and 54-second pace. So just over 2 hours. I think it was like 2 hours and 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And it didn't feel that bad. And today's Thursday, so usually I have some like pretty decent like inflammation in my knees and like soreness in my toes. So today's like honestly the only soreness I really have is like by the top of my feet, by like my toes, like that little like flat area, like the fatty area before your toes. Like that's pretty much like the only soreness I have really. Um, and yeah, I mean, like my legs kind of feel lethargic. Like obviously when you run that much, like that far, I feel like it's like kind of like you're gonna get those DOMs, but like the delay onset muscle soreness. But it's not too bad. I think I crushed it. I think I could have did like 14 or 15 yesterday, to be honest. I felt really good. But also last week I ran and I was sick. So like when I got back from running last week, I like died. I told Roman like we can't do Gainz podcast today because we usually do them on like a Wednesday. And I'm like, dude, I was like dying the whole day after that run. Like I was cashed out.
Are you have you increased your carb intake since you like started to elongate the runs, like 10 plus
Yeah.
miles?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I think I don't know if we talked about this online or offline from the podcast, but I did raise calories, I think like 200 to 300 calories. Not too big of a jump, but pretty much just mostly carbs and fats. So like I think I did like a little bit more carbs and fats. I think I only raised fats like maybe 5 grams, maybe 5 to 10 grams, and then carbs like 20 to 40. I don't know. It's like somewhere it's like 300, 400 calories. I didn't do the math in my head right there, so that could be completely off.
Yeah.
Um, but um, Yeah, on Wednesdays, honestly, like I'll record, but like just because I like by the time I got done running yesterday, like my normal calories burn through the Apple Watch. And like I said, this is the Apple Watch. Like I've used Fitbit and like Fitbit numbers are a lot higher than Apple Watch. Like I remember like using a Fitbit before and like the calories burned was a lot higher, but like typically on a daily average, I'll burn like 1,000 calories to maybe 1,300 calories on the Apple Watch, right? And this could be it could be plus or minus whatever the calories, right? It could be plus or minus like 300 calories. It could be 400 calories. It just depends. But I pretty much go off the average of that, and it just helps me gain like my movement. And then like yesterday after the run, we're talking at 8:20 in the morning. I was already at 2,100 calories. So by the time like I got done with work, I was at like 2,500 calories. So we're talking like pretty much like 2.7 times the amount of activity than my normal lifting and walking throughout the day. So honestly, I literally just look at food just a little bit less on Wednesdays. I kind of just like I'll record like 80% of the macros, and then like if I want like an extra scoop of rice, I won't bat an eye. I won't cry about it. If I want more like fries, like yesterday we ate sweet potato tots, and I literally just ate like half the bag because like I recorded like probably a quarter of the bag, but I ate like half of the bag in totality, to be honest. But like I think Wednesdays are like the only days I overeat, even though like it doesn't really because right now, besides the fact of me running, I weighed 192.2 Wednesday, so I'm still on my lower end. Yeah, I need to start eating more.
Yeah.
But I feel content though with the food though. Like, yeah, I'm getting hungry. Like if I don't eat at a certain time, yeah, I get like it's like pretty bad. Like I get like really hungry because of the activity I'm doing. But other than that, I think this week or maybe next week I'll up my calories again like 300 because let's see. I'm trying to see what my total calories are.
Yeah. On a day like that where you run like 13 miles, you might want to add in like an extra 400 carbs. To be honest with you.
I'm just about 2,700 calories.
Yeah, that's way.
Yeah, I think I need to jump up to like 3,000 minimum.
Yeah, because like you're probably.
But that's recording probably 80. I said 80% on a Wednesday, but it's like 80 to 85% the rest of the days. But like I said, I tend to not overeat on the other days besides Wednesdays.
Yeah, because your total daily energy expenditure on like a day where you run 13 miles is probably like well north of 4,000 calories.
And then that's not including, resting, burning, resting rate.
Yeah, I mean, I think like from what I understand about
and NEAT.
Yeah, NEAT would drop. NEAT should drop. You'd probably feel like more lethargic, which like sounds about like what you like self-reported.
But you know what though, it's like crazy. I still feel like I move like just the same amount like throughout the day. Like I'm like yesterday we went on a walk at night. We still did like we still went shop. We had to go grocery shop. I was walking around the store. I parked really far away from the store all the time. So
that's deliberate movement. But if you were to like
okay.
Yeah. So if you were to have like a camera on yourself and watch it, like on a usual day, you might like be working like on your laptop and something doesn't work and you just go, what the heck, Whereas like after a long run, you just might be like a little shrug, So yeah, so NEAT would be like the smaller, like unconscious or like subconscious movements that like you're not even aware of, like when we're talking about all these like gesticulations, those kind of things.
Yeah, and like I said, I'll get back to 3,000. I'll probably get up to like 3,000 calories this week. I'm probably just gonna touch carbs and fats again. Probably I'm still at like 190 to 190 to 200 grams of protein. Probably not gonna touch that. We're just gonna leave it. Yeah.
Fine.
I
would look more to the like carbs, but I think fats would be good too, because like I do think that fats are like really important for recovery, especially like healthy fats. So you add in like some avocado or like, a couple handfuls of nuts, or whatever you want to do.
Oh yeah, I put a freaking half avocado in my rice bowl for lunch. Whoo, baby.
Heck yeah.
Awesome. It tastes amazing. But yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that because the thing is like but you know what? Like on Saturdays, like it's so funny. I'm still in like I'm so self-conscious. Like Saturdays, I usually drink on Saturdays, and like I don't really put a limit on it, but I'm not drinking like high calorie drinks. Like we're talking like, because it's pool season here, and like I'll be outside. I might be drinking liquor. I might be drinking light beer, which is like 90 calories. But like what I'll do is I still like I take that calories and divide it by either grams of fats or carbs, and then I'll add them into my Fit Genie. I like, dude. It's like okay, I had 4 Miller Lights. Okay, you do 96 calories times 4, and then I'll divide it by either 9 or 4, and then I'll put the grams of carbs in my fitness app and just be like, okay, I ate that much, but I really drank it. So I'm still doing that like a freaking weirdo, but okay.
I love it, buddy. Oh my god.
It's the Lane Norton approach. Lane Norton taught me that one.
Nice.
But besides the fact, Roman, I want to talk about aging. What have you done to make yourself look as good as you do?
I've invested in a cane.
You invested in a cane so you can walk better?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I wanted to talk about aging because the fact that I've been listening to the Rhonda Patrick show,
Nice.
and she had that Dr. Morgan something, and she specializes in like aging. And I thought it was fascinating because we never really talk about that side of like working out and being healthy and how it could affect your age and like the way you look. So that's why the opening question was, Roman, why do you look so young? And you are how old? 31?
31 in October, 30 now.
So how do you still look like you're in your early 20s?
Let's crush it, buddy.
Besides the cane.
Yeah, I think it's just like the usual tropes, and okay, hopefully this is helpful. So there's always like debates of like what's more important, like getting in like a killer workout with a crap diet, or having like a crap diet with like an okay workout type dealio. Like I do think you have to work out hard. You don't have to absolutely like destroy yourself in the gym to like get progress. But like general like rule of thumb is probably anywhere between like 1 to 5 reps in reserve, or like an RPE of like 6 to 10. I would start on the lower scale and then like build it up throughout like your training program, getting closer to failure. Unless it's like a super technical movement, then I'd stay like probably further away from failure. Like not that I haven't, but I my general recommendation would be like keep like a movement like a squat or a deadlift, like probably like the hardest you go is maybe like 1 to 2 reps from like failure, but make sure like you're confident you're going to get that next rep, unless you have like a great spot and like a good like safety mechanism set up if you do fail. The next piece would be nutrition, so getting in adequate amount of protein. I put protein at the top of the list because that's like the one thing that I like kind of keep conscious of. I don't really track, at least at the current moment, I don't track, except for I kind of keep a rough idea. Like for example, I had like a couple of slices of banana bread and a tall glass of milk. I approximated that to be 20 grams of protein for like my first meal this morning. Then I had a bowl of Greek yogurt. It's like a high protein Greek yogurt, so it's 25 grams of protein for like 3/4 cup. Some sliced apple and some chocolate chips, 45 grams of protein. Then my third meal, I had 4 scrambled eggs on like a tortilla with some cheese and another glass of milk, 40 grams of protein. Now I'm at 85. And since then, I've had 2 more meals, I think. I had another bowl of Greek yogurt with apples and chocolate chips. So that would get me to, what's that, 110. And then I had probably about a cup of 80-20 ground beef, which is about 20 to 22 grams of protein. Some, like a cup of rice, maybe a half a cup of black beans, some between like 140 and 150 grams of protein. And my last meal a day will be a burrito, which will probably be between like 30 to 45 grams of protein. So that'll get me somewhere between like 171 grams of protein. So right now I'm 165-ish pounds body weight. So I like to keep it between like 0.8 grams of protein to 1 gram of protein, because I do resistance exercise train 5 to 6 days a week. If you don't do it as much, you might be able to get away with a lower amount of protein, maybe between like 0.75 to 0.8. I wouldn't recommend too much lower than that, because you might have like a recovery deficit, for example. If you just mostly do like endurance exercise activity, I think like 0.8 grams of protein is totally fine. If you're mostly sedentary, I'd say like do everything you can to reverse that and try and get as physically active as possible. It doesn't mean you have to go out and run marathons, but it does mean like try and see if you can get like 3 10-minute walks in a day. Like that would be the goal, I would say. So we've covered the exercise piece and the nutrition piece a little bit. I don't really worry too much about carbs and fats. I'm not a huge fan of consuming fried food a lot. I love fried food, but the most I'll do it is like once a week, probably closer to like once a month, just because like not super great on my digestion, I've noticed. So I kind of eat ad libitum with proteins and fats, but carbs and fats. I do like to try and get at least 1 to 2 meals a week of fish for DHA and EPA. I probably eat a really poor source of those fats in just like canned tuna, for example. So I buy like a chocolate milk often that will have algal oil as like a supplement added to the chocolate milk, just to try to boost that a little bit, because I do think that EPA and DHA, or just omega-3 fatty acids, are super important for brain health in particular. I know a lot of people like supplement with fish oil. I have never done that before. I don't currently do that, but if that's something that you like to do, I think that's a great way to get in that supplement. As an example, Rhonda Patrick is a great resource for that. Her YouTube channel is Found My Fitness. Let's see here. I probably tend to eat more carbs than I do fats, but I've eaten like 4 eggs for breakfast for most, like to start my day for most days for probably the past like 3.5 to 4 years. So that's just like my like breakfast of choice. Not every day, but most days I would say, like a vast majority. Those are pretty much like the big nutrition things I do. Another thing I try to keep in mind are like high quality proteins. So if I have vegetarian protein, for example, which I've been having more staying at my brother's house, I'll try to bump up that protein intake, maybe slightly above 1 gram per pound to aid in recovery, because nothing wrong with vegetarian sources of protein. They just tend to be lower on their overall leucine amount, and leucine is a key amino acid for pretty much just like recovery. Is the best way to put it. Another important aspect is sleep. I kind of used to be in the camp of like I'll sleep when I'm dead, and I used to average probably like 4 to 6 hours, and like my mental health is just like trash. I think mental health is better now. It could still be improved, but I try to sleep between like 7 and 9 hours, and that's what I'd recommend for like the vast majority of people. It seems like somewhere around that 8 hours is like the sweet spot. My partner, for example, she needs like much more than that. Like 8 hours is probably like the bare minimum. She's probably close to like 8 to 10 or 8 to 11 hours to like just to feel normal. So that's very individualistic, I found, but most people can't do like the Elon Musk where you only sleep like 4 to 6 hours. Like, I wouldn't recommend that for overall health and longevity. Sleep is like an incredibly powerful tool for regulating just like stress recovery too. Another thing would be like stress management. If you find that like stress is like very high in your life, I would encourage you to find ways to mitigate that, whether it's just like going for more walks, listening to music, taking more breaks during your workday, working with like your management team or whatever it is. Maybe in some instances, like trying to find like a lower stress job. That is on like my list of like reducing my stress. I think that's super important. And then maybe like the last tip I'd say is like generally just try and get outside. That's something that like I really appreciate that like Antoine does a lot. Like Antoine and his wife Sam are like constantly like outside whenever they have free time, whenever they can. Like they like literally move to the desert so they can spend more time like outside.
And I'm not even burnt or that tan, I feel like.
No, you gotta get tan. You gotta get tan, but like, especially compared to me, like.
It's not too bad, but.
So yeah, those are my tips that I'd like to give to Gainz Nation.
Yeah, no, I think you summed it up pretty well. I think like I wanted to talk about it too because the fact that like I feel like if you made it this far in the episode, I feel like a lot of people, they'll tell me they're like, or like people I know, they're like, man, I feel so darn old. And then you look at like everything Roman said, you could cross out like maybe half the list that they do and half the list they don't do. And what they say on the podcast for Find My Fit, is it Find My Fitness, right?
Found My Fitness.
Found My Fitness. Sorry. And then and pretty much what they say is like, like a lot of people will, they'll test for a higher age because of the fact that they are just missing those factors. And you see it a lot of places, like everywhere. It's like, even think about this way, like even that's like something that I'm scared about, like with retiring, because like that's why I told Roman, like I'll probably get like a part-time job doing something, because the fact that I see a lot when a lot of people get older and they retire and they do absolutely nothing, your fitness just goes like completely down if you don't even work out. Your cognitive, like even like your body, like just gravitating towards the ground, it's like you're like not balanced all the way all the time, like even with like you're just like taking steps down a staircase. So yeah. You see a ton of that, and a lot of like social skills you lose because the fact that like when you're not doing a lot of things, or if you're just spending your time on the golf course by yourself or hanging out at home all day, you kind of lose those things. Also too, there is science behind like all the things Roman said to reverse like aging, so you don't feel like you're an old person. Like when you get to the age of like 40s, 50s, you shouldn't feel like you're 70. Also, when you get to your 20s, 30s, you shouldn't feel 40 or 50, because the fact that you should be doing a lot more to better your body and better your health. And I was telling one of my buddies, like I probably told Roman this too, like I'll tell you this right now, I could kick my 18-year-old's ass. Like I probably said that before on this. Like I'm telling you, if I saw myself at 18, I'd probably whoop like Antoine's ass at 18. And people are like, that's your prime. That's your prime. Oh my gosh, like, did you see me in high school? I went to state. Well, you went to state, but you got 2 bad knees and you can't squat over 135 pounds because the fact that you lived in the glory days, and now you don't do anything for your fitness. You don't do anything for your health. So another thing too, I wanted to add like to the factors that they did mention. The doctor that was on there, she said that about 20%, like people always think like you aging older or like you aging wrong is like genetic, kind of like your looks, kind of like your height, your muscles, all that. But she only said that only 20% affects like your age. So it's really like a small number. And she was saying like most of the time it's your choices, like your environment, like your stress. And then like another thing too, Roman didn't mention, but Roman probably agrees with this anyways, is they're saying that like smoking is like one of the worst things ever. So if you smoke, like your age just keeps going up and up because if you're like a consistent smoker, it'll just keep aging you pretty badly. So that's like the only thing I wanted to add, Roman, to that. You like cleared up everything I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, smoking is like, if you care about like longevity, you have to stop today.
Yeah. And you, Roman needs to put the vape down. I mean, he vapes way too much.
Yeah, that's so funny. No, I don't vape. Yeah, it's just like, oh my God. See, like for me, I feel like it's just like, yeah, I've heard like these things like so many times. It's like hard for me to imagine like the reasons why people smoke. But like people tell me all the time like, oh, social, this, that, another thing. Oh my God, smoking is so bad for you. It alters your DNA. Because of like the high heats and like the carcinogens that are in like smoking, even if you're vaping, there are certain like hazardous chemicals that are part of like the formula for vaping, for example. Then it can like alter like the way your DNA is packed like in the cell. So it's just like, yeah, for so many different reasons, smoking is so bad. And like the smoking like industry has done just like an absolutely phenomenal job of like being able to like kind of like obfuscate the truth. And like, even though I think most people probably are aware that like smoking is bad for you, like still like somehow culturally it's acceptable. But yeah, if you care about longevity, like if you don't give a shit about longevity, like, smoke up, whatever. But like, if you care about longevity, like I would say, stop.
I don't want to be a hypocrite though, Roman. I do occasionally smoke a cigar once a month or twice. So yeah. I'm not a user per se, but I'm not gonna be on the podcast and lie to you. I do smoke a cigar at least once a month. It's minimum.
Yeah. I've talked to my brother about doing that. Like we've like talked about like, if we start a business, the first like sale, maybe we'll like smoke a cigar together. And then like our first million in sales, like maybe we'll smoke another cigar together. But like it would be far and few in between. Yeah. But if you were addicted and you quit, you couldn't do that. Like you couldn't go back to it. We like, I guess, have the privilege in like that we're not addicted. So we can do that and then like never pick it back up again. Whereas somebody that like has an addiction to something like smoking, like if my mother smoked, for example, if she like broke down and smoked, she wouldn't, because she's like in AA and all these different things. But if she did, then like she would probably smoke again, and she would smoke several like cigarettes a day, and that would like trash her respiratory health. And she wouldn't be able to go on like the nice long walks that she likes to go on, and she wouldn't be able to go do like beautiful stuff in nature. So smoking is probably the worst thing that like somebody could do for their health overall.
I'm only addicted to the gym, Roman.
To Gainz.
But guys, thanks for tuning in. We love the support. Please like us on YouTube. Please get out us a review on the Apple Podcast. We're on all video and audio platforms, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.